Hello. Hello. Good morning, everyone. Nice to see you. Hello. Welcome. Welcome to our 20-minute meetup community practice. Hello. See, Alicia is here from the UK, and Sharon is back. Nice to see you again. Hello. And Anna is tuning in from Holland. Nice to see you. I'm back in New York, as you can see, and yeah, I wanted to chat a little bit. So when we chat, let's get you to work right away. Let's cool our body. So we're going to hold our left eight. The left eight is right here. So you can cross your leg. You can cross your leg, placing your knee into your, uh, see if you can see it like this. So crossing my leg, see I'm holding my left eight. And then with the other hand, you can hold your middle finger. Okay, so with the left eight, we're cooling our body. And for a lot of areas in the world, this is appropriate. It's heat waves in a lot of places, and it is in New York. It's very, very hot. It's about 100 degrees. Nigel is here, welcome. And Nigel, I think spleen flow, because he often needs to yawn, but spleen flow is an excellent flow when the weather is very, very hot, when it's the hottest part of the season. Okay. The spleen flow is always good. But I had something else in mind today, and that's called the 20-21-22 sequence. It's a wonderful flow to open up our mind, to help with focus, to cool our mind in this situation, or when it's full. I just came back, so I'm a little jet lagged. Your mind starts to feel full, then the 20-21-22 is wonderful. It's in the core textbook. Okay, some of you have it, some of you don't. But even if you remember the first few steps, that's wonderful. So let's feel our 12s. I also did this on my father the past few days because he's 90 and he started to feel some dizziness and he's afraid of, getting a stroke. So first I opened up his location number 5, and I told you last week that when I was feeling his 5, I didn't feel anything for 20 minutes. It was like blank. And that's very important. And that stayed open. So when I went back to check over the next week, it stayed open. But then he complained from some dizziness. And when I felt his 4, it was not open. And I held it for like a minute because he's had a lot of tension, of course. I held it for about a minute and then it opened. I just held his 4s. And so I said, "Are you feeling better?" And he's like, "Yes." So I taught him how to do it on himself. And then yesterday, he was telling me also that he had pain in the ring toe, and the ring toe is related to the gallbladder energy. So I gave him a gallbladder flow also. But I also went through 20-21-22 because they actually are very similar. Gallbladder 20-21-22 and supervisor, they all kind of start the same way. So let's leave one hand on the 12 and place the other hand on 20. So we're holding 12 is the opposite 20, and you can drop your arms, just making yourself very comfortable. Taking a few breaths and waiting for the pulsation. So I was showing everybody around my father how they could hold his 4s. I showed the physical therapist, Zaye, who sometimes joins here. And it was interesting because my touches can be firm and people sometimes go like, "Oh, that's so tender." But he, I had him show it on me to hold how to hold the 4s. And he went in pretty deep and it kept saying, "Softer, softer, softer." And I realized what a gentle energy medicine modality this really is, even though sometimes it feels like it's a spot maybe tender. We really let the location come to our fingertips. And that's very important. So we don't press. When you press, you won't feel the pulsation, and it interrupts the movement of energy, right? When we hold it gently, the energy begins to spiral, and that's very important. So even if you can really rest your locations in your fingertips, you use the gravity of your body to lean onto your fingertips, but we don't press. So there's a clear difference. And that's just the art of Jin Shin, for other modalities that may be different. So 20, meaning clear mind. It's also a worry cleanser. It harmonizes logic, common sense. It brings about common sense and complete wisdom, understanding and fulfillment, the bridge between personal and universal consciousness. And it's right here at the third eye, the all-seeing eye, our connection to our spirituality. So 20 is right next to it. And then 12, opening up the energy into the head. So if you have, if you can have stroke conditions, or if you know someone, you can work on the left side, because the left side of the 12-4 opens the energy into the head, and that's very important for these kind of conditions. So 20 also helps the chest, the eyes, and energy into the head. So this first step is powerful to open up the energy into the head. So let's take one more breath. Exhale completely. And I hope you are lying down or sitting in a comfortable chair, leaning back, so you can rest your arms. And then we'll move our hand down to 21. And 21 means calm mind. So 22, clear mind, calm mind. It's the worry cleanser. Also, release of mental stress. When you are mentally stressed, mental, emotional, also digestively, 21 helps our digestive system. Then 21 is important. And of course, 20, 21, and the next is 22. They allow for energy to descend, to move down the body. So taking a few breaths here and feeling for the pulsation, coming into your breathing, allowing for the breath to become a little bit deeper. And by the way, if you have sinus projects or allergies, you can go closer to the center line. Also on the 20, you can work this whole line close to the sinuses to clear it. This is allergy season, so sorry? So a lot of people have allergy projects right now. 21, profound security and escape from mental bondage. Wow, that's powerful. Escape from mental bondage. And we do have so much going on in this world right now. And if you feel stressed about that, then this is a great sequence to practice. It really releases and calms the mind. Sometimes we get to worry, and then this sequence will help with that also. This flow is also called the good mood flow. Good mood flow, and we can all use some of that, bringing about some happiness, joy. Right, Maya? Our dear friend Maya is watching here. The good mood flow. So this is definitely good for depression, bringing the energy down out of the head. And then moving down to 22. 22, just beneath the collarbone, the adapter to all situations. And well, that's perfect for me right now, since I just came back last night from Amsterdam. I'm really adapting to being here and just getting used to the time difference and the extreme heat. Physical, mental, and spiritual adaptation. So 22, happy wherever we are. And 22 also allowing for energy to move down. 22 is also very important for the lungs, particularly for the exhale. When the exhale is difficult, people can inhale and then they have a hard time exhaling. Thinking about my father, yes, he's on my mind, but he has a harder time exhaling than inhaling. So I'm holding his 3 and 22, and that calms his breathing. It allows for the exhale to move down. So 23, 22, acceptance of what is spiritual expression of balance, rhythm, and integration through universal knowledge. Well, that's a big line and something we can ponder upon. And 22 harmonizes our breathing, our digestion, our throat, great for throat pain. This one is also great if you have throat pain or stuffiness in the head. This flow is wonderful. And then we'll make a mudra with the index finger, with the thumb over the index finger nail, and then the pad. So we have inhale on the nail and then exhale on the pad. In the group, that looks great here in the meetup. You're doing great. Very good. Let's take one more breath and then gently move your hand to 14, which is moving down a little bit. Here, 14 and then 15. Okay, and then I'll come back, 14 and 15. So 14 is right here where the ribs are. And that helps us to digest. Again, digest life, digest our worldly desires, calms our ego, you know how we as human beings can sometimes get in our own way. So 14 helps with that. Bringing about harmony between body, mind, and spirit, connecting heaven and earth. And again, our digestive system, 14 on the waistline. So 12 is waistline and 14 is waistline. So are you a chest line person, a waistline person, or a hip line person? Where the chest line tells us most about our emotional body, the waistline about our mind body, and the hip line about our physical body. So you know yourself, or ask yourself these questions and investigate. That's what the art of Jin Shin is really about, getting to know yourself so you can harmonize and help yourself. And it's so simple by practicing these simple flows. And then let's move to 15, which is at the top of the thigh. 15, bringing about laughter, joy, laughter, happiness. Very important for the total health of our body. Without joy and laughter, feeling good inside, it's very hard to bring about healing. And then from 15, we will move to location number 5. Location number 5 is right here. Can you see it there? Yeah. The ankle bone and right below it. So I'm sitting in a figure 4. And if this is not possible for you to reach, then you can hold the 1. See, I'm actually holding the 1 with my elbow right now and the 5. So it's just very important that you are comfortable. Making yourself comfortable, right, Anna? Yes, yes. So that we can really, become the jumper cable. If we're stressing and it's hard, then it's not going to work. So make yourself comfortable at all time. It looks like Nigel's really comfortable. He's chilling, he's chilling. That's great, yeah. So 5 is really important. Like I said, also really important to clear the head because like I said, my father, it was really, really quiet. And then after a few days, he got his dizziness. So there's definitely a relationship. So I told the people around him to hold his 5s, keep them open, and also his 4s, keep them open, the back of the head. So we do the best we can, and Jin Shin is a harmonizer. So we're not fixers or curers or anything like that. We're just facilitating so that the body can function optimally. Okay, and then let's gently take off our hands, gently, and we'll hold our high 19s. So in the book, it now goes to 10, but that's hard for us to reach. So we'll hold our high 19s, which harmonizes the chest line. Oh, doesn't that feel good after doing all these other tricks and just simply holding your high 19s, opening up the chest line, bringing out our child ego state, our creativity, harmonizing our heart and our lungs. And then lastly, so this is also great for the heart, because our last hold is holding the 17 on the same time that you were on the 12. So you can actually go back to the 12 if you like and hold 17, or you can just hold it like this. Whatever feels comfortable. You can use the thumb right in that joint, and 17 helps our heart. It opens up our heart. It helps the heart organ. It brings out our intuition. It helps our nervous system also. That's why often when people are under a lot of stress or in nervous, difficult situations, like what is going on today in the world, people hold their 17 a lot. Look and watch. You can see it on TV. You can see it on the street, that people are just holding their 17, calming their nervous system. So that's the end of this wonderful 2021-22 sequence. And let's bring our hands together to practice one more mudra together. Let's hold this one today. We're holding the index finger, the part of the middle, and the thumb, and part of the palm. Yeah, wonderful. So I'm back in New York now, and then the end of June, July, the end of July, I'm going to San Francisco, the Bay Area, and I'm going to teach a self-help class with Jane Pritchard. And Jane was one of Pamela Markarian-Smith's foremost students. She's very, very knowledgeable, so we're going to teach together. So if you're in the Bay Area, please stay tuned. We'll be announcing that, and it will be really fun. And I'm also going to give sessions in Marin County. Marin, it's near San Francisco. So, and then back to Holland. Wow, yes, I'm spending a lot of time there. And Anna and I are organizing a really fun event there. But stay tuned for that. We'll tell you more. And I want to just stay another moment on with you in the meetup group. And I'll see all of you on Insta and Facebook tomorrow for Wellness Wednesday at 10. Have a